If you're still broke, watching this right now, it's not an accident. Maybe it feels like life keeps putting you in the same place over and over again. The same paycheck that disappears before the month even ends. The same stress every time someone mentions money. The same feeling of being stuck while the world moves forward without you. Maybe you tell yourself you're trying. You work. You survive. You keep going. But deep down, there's this silent frustration. The kind that doesn't just hurt. It eats you slowly. A frustration that whispers, "Why isn't anything changing? Why am I still here? Why do other people move ahead while I stay in the same spot?" You don't talk about it. You don't show it. You just live with it. But here's the truth. A truth most people will never tell you. You're not broke because you're unlucky. You're not broke because the world is unfair. You're not broke because of your past, your background, your education, or what someone did or didn't give you. You're broke because of your mindset. This might sting, but sometimes the truth is supposed to. Because comfort never wakes you up. Pain does. Somewhere in your life, you accepted limitations that were never real. Somewhere, you started believing that success was something that happens to other people. Somewhere, you convinced yourself that where you are right now is normal. And the moment it felt normal, it became permanent. Maybe life taught you to settle. Maybe it taught you to survive instead of build. Maybe you learned to repeat the same year again and again and call it a life. But here's the part most people never realize. Your mind becomes your prison long before your circumstances do. People think poverty starts in the wallet. It doesn't. It starts in the mind, in the beliefs you repeat without even realizing. Beliefs like, "I'm not ready. I'll start later. I can't afford to take risks. I don't know enough. I'm not talented enough. This is just how life is." These are not thoughts. These are cages. And as long as you think like the majority, you will live like the majority. And the majority struggles. The majority complains. The majority survives, but never changes. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you genuinely believed you were meant for more than the life you're living right now? Not daydreaming, not hoping, but truly believing. You see, there's a version of you, a stronger, sharper, more disciplined version that exists inside you right now. But that version isn't built by motivation. It's built by decisions, by discipline, by breaking patterns so deeply rooted in your identity that changing them feels like tearing off skin. Most people never change because it's easier to complain about circumstances than confront the mindset that created them. You may have dreams, but do you have standards? There's a difference. Dreams are cheap. Everyone has them. Standards are expensive. Only a few commit to them. Dreams tell you what you want. Standards tell you what you're unwilling to tolerate anymore. And right now, whether you realize it or not, you are living the life that aligns with your current standards, not your potential. That's the part that hurts the most. Because deep down, you know you're capable of more. You know there's something inside you that hasn't been tapped yet. Something waiting, something powerful. And that part of you, the part that knows, is tired of being ignored. Think about your life. Think about the days that passed while you waited for the perfect moment to start. Think about the opportunities you saw, but didn't take because fear spoke louder than possibility. Think about how many times you said, "Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow," until suddenly 1 year passed, then 3, then 5, and nothing changed. Maybe you learned to numb the discomfort with distractions. Scrolling, entertainment, escaping. Anything to avoid the silent war happening inside. But avoidance never saves you. It only delays the reality waiting for you at the end. Let me tell you something powerful, and I need you to really hear it. Your life will not change until you change the identity you operate from. Not the goals, not the plans, not the hopes, the identity. You will never rise above the story you tell yourself about who you are. If you believe you're someone who always struggles, your mind will find ways to make that true. If you believe money is hard to get, you will never see opportunity, only obstacles. If you believe wealth is rare, you'll treat it like something impossible. If you believe discipline is hard, you'll never practice it long enough to see results. Your mind doesn't work based on what you want. It works based on what you expect, and too many people expect too little from themselves. That's why motivation dies. That's why change never lasts. Because you're trying to build a new life with an old identity. Success is not an event. It's a mental shift. It starts the moment you stop blaming, stop waiting, and stop hoping life will adjust itself to your comfort. It starts the moment you say, I refuse to live like this anymore. Not as a wish, but as a decision that changes what you tolerate, what you believe, how you speak to yourself, how you use your time, what habits you build, and how you respond to resistance. Because resistance will come, doubt will come, fear will come, failure will come. People think success is a path paved with motivation and clarity. It's not. Success is built on confusion, uncertainty, discomfort, and discipline, repeated long enough for the mind to rewrite who you are. But here's the part no one prepares you for. The moment you start changing, your life will get harder, not easier, because you're leaving the familiar patterns that kept you broke, not just in your wallet, but in belief, identity, and action. There will be days when you question whether change is worth it, days when you feel like nothing is working, days when quitting feels easier than continuing. And in those moments, most people break, not because they're weak, but because they never understood the process. Growth hurts before it feels empowering. Change feels lonely before it feels aligned. Discipline feels unnatural before it feels automatic. Success feels impossible before it becomes inevitable. Right now, your life is a reflection of past habits, past thoughts, past standards, past decisions. But your future? That gets written the moment you rewrite your mindset. So ask yourself, honestly, brutally, are you living or just existing? Are you growing or just waiting? Are you becoming stronger or simply older? Because time passes either way, and nothing is more painful than waking up one day realizing you spent years surviving instead of becoming the person you were meant to be. So if you're still broke, financially, mentally, emotionally, this is your turning point. Not because you're watching this video, but because a part of you, the part that's been quiet for too long, finally woke up. The world doesn't change for you. You change, and the world responds. This is where it begins. Not tomorrow. Not when life settles. Not when you feel ready. Now. Because broke isn't a condition. It's a mindset. And the moment you decide you're done with the old identity, the old excuses, the old patterns, that's the moment everything begins to shift. Welcome to the version of you that refuses to settle. Welcome to the beginning.